Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. It's chess program on Pod TV. My name is Sasha Star. It's my birthday. I'm telling you that right away without forgetting that. And I have my friends and esteemed guest for today. It's Professor Ken Regan. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much for having me on, and happy birthday again.
Thank you so much. And Jim Ida from Ida Foundation. Welcome to the show, Jim.
Oh, Sasha, it's always good to be with a fellow Aries.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
Well,
Yes,
Jim,
Jim's birthday was just 2 days ago. Yes.
exactly. That's what I want to mention. That 2 days ago, it was your birthday. Great, a great month. I love this time of the year. It's getting a
Yeah.
little bit warmer in our places, and
Yes. Spring
uh,
is sprung.
spring is right there. And so, right now, let's go back to chess. We are talking about the America Cup. And
Yes.
Ken, you're following that very closely. So, show us the latest. What's happening there?
Yes, I'll show you the latest thing that happened there yesterday in a very entertaining game. And I'll show you on purpose the final position first. So let's see. So I'm going to share just the tab, see if that works better for the moment.
Hmm.
So this is do you see the final position of Hikaru against Wesley So?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, let me jiggle it around. Um, Still not?
Mm-mm.
Oh wow. Okay. At least. Oh yes, you're right. You still see there it comes. Okay.
Yes, got it.
It just does take a little while. So in this position, Hikaru is a rook and an exchange ahead.
Wow.
And it looks like he has just carelessly walked into stalemate by moving his king up to support the rook.
Correct.
And suddenly black has no moves. However, there was rather more going on in the position before that. So let's see it from the beginning. And it's a really interesting game of how to create a crazy game after it looks like you've exchanged most of the pieces. And then suddenly the pawns uh, engage each other over a very wide battlefront. Okay, as this is English four knights, and white, I don't know, plays like this. I always thought you would fianchetto and put your knight on e2 if you wanted to play like this, but I'm not an opening maven. So um, white expands, and now white goes after black's very strong bishop on that dark diagonal. Uh, Black, however, trades off the other bishop. Then,
So interesting to me. It's two knights versus two bishops right away. And very consciously decided upon by black to do this.
right. Now you're going
Also,
to get.
close position, though, that Black Knights maybe they do have some merits, but in
Black
the long,
obviously thinks
yeah,
so.
I think in the long run, white bishops are more valuable, probably.
Yeah, at least white's remaining bishop, because black is going to be able to trade one off. There we go. And now it's a question of the power of this bishop. It's on a nice diagonal. And eventually you'll be able to pry the position open because black cannot maintain a complete blockade on e5 in
Well,
this
Ken,
position.
maybe you can explain to me, why would you take the white squared bishop, which is behind the pawns, c4, d3, and e4? It seems like it's the bad bishop of the two. And I guess you don't want to defend a isolated pawn or a pawn on d4 by allowing white to take on d4.
Yeah, I think the problem with allowing white to take on d4 and recapturing with the e pawn is that white will soon be able to play g3, bishop g2, and then f4.
And the e5, yes, opening up.
Expanding with a majority. And that's certainly better, strategically better for white.
I
Now,
agree.
what would occur to me more in this position would be to play c5 as black. But maybe the weakness on b6 argues against that. I don't know. Let's see. Does the engine thinks c5 is a half pawn mistake? It's funny. It looks like a perfectly good strategic move to me. The engine likes knight e6, but I would be very afraid to leave two unmolested bishops on the board when the center is still fluid. So, but let's see. So c5. So why is this? This is strategically important because this is the move I would make as black. I would play c5. And I guess Now, the problem is maybe white's queen side is too fluid. The b6 is not a weakness per se. It's just that white has a preponderance of space on the queen side. So this is the engine line.
Yeah, it doesn't look that convincing to me.
No, it doesn't. I don't think black is doing badly here at all. Engine says half pawn ahead, but pawn ahead for white. No, it says half pawn ahead for white at this point. So yes, this actually, and besides, this actually is the way I picture Hikaru as playing as black. Maybe it's a position where he's good on both sides. So okay, so I would have played c5 as long as I didn't think there was anything tactically wrong with the idea. Anyway, okay, well, captured. Now I think white just has a nice static advantage because there is no, I don't see any counterplay for black.
Yeah, I just was against taking the bad bishop off the board, but yeah, now I'm fine with white's position. So
yeah, it's I mean, maybe a4 you can exploit. Well, let's see what happens. Black castles, white comes back, and now we start engaging.
Right.
And black now engages. And I guess so. The idea is to put pressure on the e4 square. So black did, maybe you could argue, got a slight concession from white because there's another pawn on the dark squares. Black's queen's a good location. You can't play d5 here. That's a problem. Okay, c6 to try to block white's position. Now white's d pawn lives a long, healthy life in this game, and that's also striking. But
this is very interesting to me. I would not have played that.
You would not have captured on d6?
No, I would not have played c6 and allowed the capture.
Yeah, I mean, now white's going to crash through in the center because there's no way. I mean, black can hold e5, I guess, like this, but still, here you go, crashing through in the center. And this is just really, really interesting. I mean,
yeah, he's tougher than I am.
yeah. This is now. Look at this. This is e5, and we have to see exactly why it is that black cannot take this pawn. The answer is black took this pawn. Now, looks like you're going to white's going to gang up on the knight. Now, what is actually going to happen is that black is forced to move the knight, and now white wins 2 rooks for the queen. Usually, I speak of the trade as being better for the person who gets the rooks. And
yeah, this is difficult. I can understand that black would want to avoid this.
Yeah, but white or understand that white would want to force it.
Yes.
So the engine says completely even, but we're about to see a brilliant move, and to some extent, black's back is to the wall. Black's king is on the end.
Really?
Okay. So now white safeguards the bishop, and now here comes a truly brilliant move for white, and the engine thinks that black should have captured this pawn. Queen takes d6. h4, and it's, I guess, just a game. Black is a pawn, a not very healthy pawn for
it's
the.
So interesting to me. Yes, I'm glad you showed this game. I wouldn't have seen it otherwise. So
yeah,
it's really surprising moves to me already. A couple of them.
Yeah, maybe we should go slower through some of them. But here, see if you could think of what white's move is. Well, I should hide the screen.
Well, you kind of hinted at it with h4. I'm thinking now, is he trying to set up like h4, rg5, and then bishop to g7 check? That kind of mate.
Yep, that's the combination. So now black is in a little spot of bother, as they say in Britain. Black counterattacks. Still, that d pawn lives and lives and lives. That's an amazing fact. Black. Now, this is also strange.
Yeah. Okay.
White attacked black's knight. Okay, so use the bishop to get the knight. But it turns out actually that what the engine says that white should have done was just played this position a piece down for the attack, because white has this wonderful pawn on d6 that black never took.
Right.
And black's knight actually is cut off, not coming back to the defense anytime soon. If you want to play this, you're going to get mated, right? This is mate now. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's mate. What's the right mating move?
Well,
No, just e6 and d7. Never mind. Queen rook e6 and d7 is gone. So yeah. So black's black. Yeah, so oops, rook e7 here would force black to sacrifice, is what the so in fact the engine line here is rather spectacular. Black sacrifice is trying for a perpetual check, and maybe there's a perpetual check or not, but white can also play d7.
Yeah. Just
And
ignored.
now we're playing with a new queen. So I don't know what has to calculate these lines.
Yeah.
It's beyond the event horizon.
Yeah, it is. Yes. However, white played the very natural king f2.
I would have done it too.
Okay, so which is now black took white's bishop. Now what black could have done was play knight d5, and after this, then captured, and the engine says white is nothing better than to give a perpetual check. What's interesting is after this, and then this, black cannot capture with the queen
Because
this pawn is still left free.
Right.
The pawn that would not die. But however, apparently white is nothing better than
it keeps coming up in the notes.
than a perpetual check. Wait. Wesley So captured the bishop, a natural move, and now white cut off the knight, cut off the king. So this looks strong. One more check will be made, but white is not able to deliver that check. So instead, rook e7 was the move recommended by the engine. It wins back the knight.
Boy, that's interesting because rook g5 is so natural looking. It just I mean, in any kind of speed, rapid or type of play, I would have just banged it out without a thought.
Yeah, because any check is mate, and black went here. Now so look. This pawn is going to be a queen, and black has to play a very grovelly move. This probably is the essence. Probably white thought, well, black has to play the grovelly move, queen to h8 in the corner. I've got to be able to win this somehow. And
Love that you worked grovelly into the commentary.
yeah. Well, it's look, rook e6 mate. And look, you're going to play whatever black's queen move. You're going to play d8 queen takes d8, rook e6 mate. So it looks like this is game over, but it's strangely not, because this is check, and now. So I don't know what's going on here. Why can't I just bake a queen here?
You can, but
it's not mate.
Comes on f6 to block the mate.
Maybe rook e6 first and then queen.
Yeah, let's see. Rook e6.
Rook e6 first, maybe.
Well, then queen e1 check and take. Yeah. So
that doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Okay, so we got to this position here. It wasn't mate. Now, at this point, the engine says that Hikaru made a very bad blunder. So white activated the king the wrong way. And apparently black could have won now by playing this check, and then he played g3, whatever, and then queen f7. And this seems to be guarding everything. Why can't you can't play the rook to d6 because black just drives it off the line. Yeah, so that's the problem. I can't hold the position.
Interesting, because king h2 again would be the natural move.
Yeah.
King f2 exposes it more, you would think.
Right. But anyway, so black played a very logical move, centralized the queen, threatened the pawn, It gives
Which
away
is a
the
mistake. Yeah, all these natural moves are mistakes. Oh boy.
Yeah. So now we finally get to the denouement here and go, can Black win? Well, Black tries to feint here. See if we can jockey for position.
Hmm.
And now at this point, so figured, well, I don't have any raid play for a win here. My king and knight are tied down. So then he played this. So the answer to the riddle is
Yes. Why would you?
Hikaru captured a queen on h4. And that's what caused the stalemate. So that was an interesting semi-self-immolation by So.
Yeah.
A cute way to cause the draw.
That would be a good puzzle to find what was the last white's move. in
Yes.
this position.
Yeah. Well, what was the last
Black's-
Black's
yeah,
move
yeah.
before that? Yeah, that there was
Yeah.
actually a queen on the board, not a rook, not a bishop. Bishop couldn't have gotten there anyway.
Yeah. The caption: White takes. King takes h4? Question mark.
Yeah. Yeah. How does one judge it? Yeah, that's right. So.
That would be a nice riddle.
Mhm. And
Great game. Wow, that was really just to me. It was entertaining because all my instincts seemed wrong. You know, I would naturally have played so many of those moves, and there was a better one to be found. So, what a lesson!
Yeah.
What's interesting is that in one of the previous positions, white bishop on d1 was a very powerful piece. It was guarding a4 pawn,
Oh,
and it was
the
guarding
analysis.
e4
Yeah.
and h5 as well. And it was just standing in the right place.
Yeah.
I didn't worry about develop it or something. So how's Irina Krush doing?
Right. So let's see that one as well. So let me see again. I can share a tab here. So this is was playing against the phenomenal Alice Lee, and I think this is her second go round. So it's a double elimination tournament. It's really defeated Alice Lee once. Now Alice Lee, by the way, is stronger than her 2362 rating. This again is a pandemic likely lagging rating. I put her in the middle 2400s. It's possible that's an underestimate.
Wow.
Considering that she's 14, that's definitely a
possibility.
She certainly IM strength at this point.
So the format though, Ken, is that you're in a tournament, and if you suffer a loss, you get seeded into another tournament where you can win your way back into it.
Right.
Am I correct?
That's what I mean by double elimination kind of thing.
I see. Yeah. Very entertaining format.
Yes, there have been a couple of tournaments with that format recently, and so this is a rematch. Both sides, it's a rematch. So anyway, so Irina Krush, arguably the underrated, lower rated of the two, if my projection for Alice Lee is correct. But
what's Irina's rating now? I think of her as quite strong, but I don't know what her current rating is.
Irina's 2432, but she was over 2500 not long ago.
Yeah. That's how I think of her.
Yeah, that's how I think of her too. So now this is instead of an English 4 knights.
I can't see it yet, Ken.
Oh, it's not. Okay, so let me jiggle again. Okay.
Now I got it.
Now you got So English 4 knights, and this time Alice Lee plays a known gambit, and
I've seen b5 played in this position.
That's right. Yeah, the b5. This is a way to support the pawn. Yeah. So c6. I don't know the book on this. Alice Lee does not get a terrible position out of this. But wow, Black's really attacking here. And apparently in this position here, Black is fine with h3 or queen g5, some more really mindless attacking moves. But what's wrong with the developing move? So now the thing is, so Black has played 3 completely natural moves, and yet now the engine says white is much better. So if we go back,
Interesting.
yeah, the engine wants Black to play H3, softening up the pawns.
I would do that, I think. Yes.
Yeah, or play Queen G5. Maybe I would play Queen G5.
That's also, yeah, on the,
So maybe
radar.
this is too slow, and that's the fault.
Yeah.
It allows white to castle, and now the problem is in this position that white has a nice mass of pawns. I do have to say that the pawn formation that white has in this position is the same as the pawn formation that Hikaru Nakamura had playing the Bong Cloud against Vladimir Kramnik in Title Tuesday last Tuesday.
Huh.
But Kramnik had quite a few more tempi and was able to simply sack and win. Nevertheless, here is a case where the Bong Cloud formation, do we dare call it that, is going to be very strong for white because black is going to dash her pieces against white's rocks the entire game. So now again, this is just white's pawn ahead. Everything's defended.
Yeah.
I don't know, Black obviously prepared Queen D6, but Queen D6 is just easily blocked.
And G5.
Yeah, I guess G5 that comes. Yep, there we go. So we're playing for the attack, and there we go.
Wow.
Yeah,
But that could get locked up so easily, it seems. Maybe not. Maybe
yeah.
not.
So the problem here is that
You can't take,
can't take because you just white just takes the knight.
Yeah.
This is just a structurally crushing position because black's pawns are isolated, white's position is very nice. So you can't take it, and that leaves the question of the only thing that's the reason why white can't take is that black's queen would go to H2 mate, but it kind of means that black is tied down to having to have that threat, else the F4 lever by itself generally favors white with the rook behind it. So anyway, so black closed up. I don't know. You give up the center pawn. What are you going to get for it? Maybe a King's Indian player could conjure something up out of this position, but otherwise, white is just 2 pawns ahead, and black pushes white around a little bit. So here, the engine says that black should have sat on the position, but I don't know, sitting on a position 2 pawns down. Well, it's it's again, you should come forward with the whole army.
Yeah.
There are some Civil War movies that this reminds me. But okay, white just defends calmly. Now we've got G2 under control. No black piece is going to challenge that diagonal.
Just being get of the bishop, she's safe in the H1, right?
Yeah.
It's funny, but
this actually is resignable for black already, I have to say. Black's knight is not going to come into the game. Black's bishop's not going anywhere. And black is only 1 pawn down, but okay. So anyway.
Yeah, how do you get anything else into the attack?
Yeah.
Seems I wouldn't have said it was resignable, but it is hard to come up with a plan.
Yeah. The engine says that white should play D5.
Yeah.
But I don't know. White's advantage isn't going anywhere. I don't know what the engine's thinking here. This is just
Interesting.
Okay. Now after that, white crashed through. So the engine says that black should have tried to get the queens off, but getting the queens off just hopeless in this position. So I don't know. I don't care if the engine says 2 pawns. If the queen G4 takes stakes, it's just hopeless. So it's just
White has a threat. I think white could have played rook takes to C6, followed by queen C6.
Yeah. Well, it's black would take on G2 then. Yeah.
No, maybe.
That might guard enough things. But anyway, yeah. Well, A little bit of a tactical sequence here, but the
Mm.
end result is black gets bishop down.
Yeah.
After a few more moves, making sure that white isn't getting perpetual checked or checkmated. Um,
It's check, but not perpetual.
Yes, and as long as you can have one square, it's enough. And
Yeah.
so this eliminates Lee.
Nope, it says, well, I think she has to win this game and then win a playoff. So Irina Krush needs to draw this position. And that looks like, I mean,
I see. That was the first game that they played.
Yeah, that's the first game. So this is the game going on right now. It looks like, is it Alaska QGD? Let's see. Did it transpose to one? No, it's just a...
Yeah,
yeah, it's fine for black.
I'm not a big fan of knight a4, but that's.
Well, white can play for advantage here. Not very obvious moves, but still. The problem is that white should avoid exchanges, and without exchanges, how you will get rid of the e4 knight?
Yeah, that's a problem, and you also want to, and a5 is just weighted you against expanding on the queen side, which is what white really wants to do.
Yeah.
And so how are you going to? It's going to take some time to get a3, b4.
Well, maybe you start with rook f to c1,
I
and
agree.
then knight c5, and something trying
I
to
agree.
weaken the queen side.
Yeah.
And
because that's where white's prospects are. You have to play for especially if you're going to try to win. But I personally like black's position here in terms of defending. I don't see the danger, but there's still a lot of chess to be played.
yeah. No, what has a distinctive plan? Rook, whose moves now? White's. So rook f to c1.
Yeah, I would play that too. Yeah.
Okay, so now to avoid knight c5, should you try b6 to guard?
I wouldn't play b6, no.
Exactly, because it creates weakness on c6, and I can play knight e5 right away. Right, so you have to figure out how to, or you will agree with knight c5 and you will take on c5, in which case white can take with the rook and continue some expansion on the queen side. And at the same time, you get rid of the e4 knight. So
you could also, but that walks into like knight d7, knight f6, e4 again.
Yeah, quite possible, yes.
It just is. It's a normal game to me. It doesn't seem.
Yeah, it's a game. Yeah, no, white doesn't have anything special. It's just I'm trying to find the line where you can avoid exchanges and try to press at least for some weaknesses here and there. It's not.
Which side would you want to play, Ken?
I guess I would want to play black because I like the extra space on the king side.
That's my thinking too, but I think it's playable for both sides. So it's just a question of taste and preference at this point.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But so that's the story with that. And I guess we might as well look on Hikaru's current position and the other.
Interesting.
So let me just share once more.
So I'm sorry, I should have done some research on this tournament before, but the format again, like the draws kind of not count, or are wins really valuable, or is it the main tournament that you can win your way back into? Draws are as important as ever.
Well, draws counting for half point, I guess. So
yeah.
If there is a draw, there is a draw.
Yeah. So if you haven't lost, you don't have to necessarily. You can just play your normal game.
This might be going to Armageddon. So this looks like it's going to be drawn in very short order here.
Yeah.
Oh, so you do have to have a decisive result.
Although you have to be careful because white maybe can make an outside pass pawn. So what happens in a king and pawn ending here?
Right. But all rook and pawn endings are drawn.
Right. Yeah.
It's hard to imagine player of Nakamura's strength would lose this position
I agree.
unless completely drunk or something.
Hmm.
So
Well,
again,
all you do, you exchange a pair of rooks and put your rook, if you will, on A8 and just wait.
Yeah. Yeah. White's D file isn't going anywhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this looks like it should be drawn pretty.
So there are no entry points for a rook. So if you play rook C3, you play king D6, and that's it. And
Yeah.
that's the end of story. I don't think that this game will last much longer.
Yeah. So both games may be fairly quiet. And well, we'll see if there are fast chess playoffs. So
Yeah, it's coming soon. So last few weeks there was celebration of 80th birthday of Robert Fischer. And,
that's right. Yeah, it's hard,
Yeah,
hard to
yeah.
imagine. Yeah.
yeah, of course, one of the top players ever. I think the latest what I read about, I think Magnus Carlsen recognized that the top three players of all time were Fischer, Kasparov, and of course Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah.
It's difficult to argue with this.
Difficult to argue with
Great.
that. Might breathe Capablanca into that mix.
Capablanca was unique talent, that's
Yes.
for sure.
yeah,
Lasker
but he was part of the classical era. And so, I still think he gets shortchanged a little bit by Magnus.
Yeah, I say that because I get a 2950 performance for him from New York, 1927.
Wow.
Mhm.
He was a machine. So
That's,
Was there a
nickname.
performance higher than this in rating points, according to your system?
yeah, Capablanca had a match against Kostic where he was 3,000. And Lasker also had some high performances, but the mid-century matches do not hit that level.
What about the performance of Karpov in Linares in 1994? He's got, I think it was 11 out of 13, and was
Oh, that, yes, that is a high performance.
crushed.
His win at Linares, yes.
yes.
yeah. So that in tournament play, I think it was one of the highest performance ever.
Yeah, Karpov was astounding in some of his tournament results. Just amazing.
Yeah, Caruana's streak of 7 straight wins at the Singfield Cup.
Yeah,
got up to
That's right.
just under 3,000 on my
Yeah.
meter.
So Karpov was getting there, or because of his rating of most of his opponents was not that great, so maybe
Yeah.
he didn't do 3,000, maybe less.
Now let's see if if my intrinsic ratings compendium has an entry for that. Let's see.
Yeah, he's such a good resource for us.
Oh yeah, Linares, 1994. I have just had the whole tournament hitting, being underneath, being low. So the whole tournament had a low IPR, but I don't have. Seem not to have Karpov's individual performance there, huh?
What about the middle Polgar sister had this incredible tournament performance in Italy.
Yeah.
Yes, I actually did do that one. Yes, Sophia.
Uh-huh.
And
Sophia.
she did have that incredible performance, and I think it was good. It wasn't super. It wasn't unbelievable. Let's see. I have Susan Polgar. I thought those are matches. Let's see. Yeah, no, I don't have that. Sophia Empel is not Sophia Polgar. That's Sophia Bulgaria. Okay. No, I don't have it.
I think she's got something like 8 out of 9, or maybe even 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
8 out of 9.
The result
She was close to 3,000, though.
I thought so. I thought she was up there in the high.
In performance rating, yes.
Yeah,
Performance.
But not in the intrinsic performance.
No. Her rating
That's what I was
at
asking
was
about,
2450, maybe. It was low. I think it was less than 500 that she had, but she crashed the field somehow.
Yeah.
And so that was an incredible result. And of course, probably one of the highest performances was Fischer's matches against Taimanov and Larsen. it would rate him.
That gets us into the age-old question of, is brilliance over a short period of time the same as long-term dominance? You know, because we can point to a certain tournament result where someone was dominant and say, wow, that was a great performance. They're one of the greatest players of all time. But, you know, it's more to me that they have to have some sort of longevity in there that says, yeah, they did it more than once. They did it against, you know, multiple places, multiple competitions, different fields. That's what tells me that that person was dominant for that period in time.
Yeah, we will definitely say that of Carlsen, especially at fast chess. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Fischer was obviously dominant in this 3 years from 70 to 72. He was towering over the rest of the world. Nobody could touch him at that time. Shortly thereafter, he just quit chess altogether.
Yeah. But, you know, that 3-year period is sufficient to me to prove dominance. And I think when we go back and talk about like someone like Morphy, you know, yeah, he didn't have a long career, but, you know, he was dominant for a short period of time. And he displayed the dominance over his contemporaries.
Yeah.
That's
And
all I'm looking for.
in matches and tournaments. Everywhere.
Yeah. And one tournament doesn't say it to me, but, you know, it's like 3 years of results. Yeah, that kind of gets there as far as I'm concerned.
Well, of course, 27 years of Lasker's
yes.
Championship.
You know, but I don't think that's as impressive to me as the dominance. You know, like saying something like Lasker had 27 years. Yes, that's fantastic. But, you know, World War I interrupted that. Who knows how long he would have maintained that. But, you know, was he really dominant over a period of time? And I think he was.
I'll give an example. Aliokin, for the first time ever, defeated Lasker only in 1934.
That's amazing.
His first victory over Lasker. They played in many tournaments together, so that was the only and first time.
I did not know that. That is interesting.
That he did. That's how strong Lasker was, even in his late years.
Right.
Well, gentlemen, I would like to thank you so much for today's program. Now I'm
Great game. Thank you, Ken.
Okay, enjoy the rest of your birthday. Okay.
Yes, have fun. Enjoy your cake.
Next Saturday.
I had a long week. I got back late last night from travel.
See.
I gave a talk at Smith College, hosted by a former doctoral student.
Oh,
and visited my mother and Dick Lipton in the New York City area. So,
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Gentlemen, goodbye. See you next Saturday.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks again, Sasha.